Hello children, good morning. As I told you in my previous video that the topic number 3 of the first chapter is coming up pretty soon. So here I am back with the second topic of the chapter. Sorry, I kept on telling you this is topic number 3, right? So yeah, the first part was to check whether a given equation is quadratic or not. Second is, if the roots are given, then to how to find the value of the variables in that equation. Then this third part is factorization of quadratic polynomial using the different methods that you have learned. So basically this is using factorization. So factorization is, we have only learned two types, splitting the middle term and using the identity. So we will be using that. And in majority of the questions to say, we will be only using splitting the middle term. So you make thorough with that method of splitting the middle term, because once in a while only you will come across quadratic identities, but majority of the questions will be solved using splitting the middle term. So I would expect everyone to be very thorough with that method. If you have any problem, go to your class 8 textbook. There also you have the method of solving. Because if in class 10, if you did not learn it in class 8, you did not learn it in class 9, then in class 10 it is definitely going to be difficult. So certain things which are supposed to be learned in a particular class, you have to learn it in that particular class itself. And if you have not learned it, please go back and learn it over there. Because here we have got new things to do. So I'm sorry for that. Now, coming back to the topic. This is video number 2, chapter number 4, quadratic equation, class 10 mathematics. And we are discussing how to find the solutions of a quadratic equation using factorization method. We call it as method of factorization or factorization method. Now, if you will look at the board, you will see there are few questions worked out. I have worked out few questions for you, so that for the sake of simplicity of explanation, and I don't think so you should be having any problem. If you have the problem in the online classes, they will discuss it. So during online classes. Now coming to this question number 1. The first question, as obvious, because I said that we are discussing finding the roots by factorization. So the question also is the same, that find the roots of the given equation using factorization method. Now the first question you see is, it's a very simple question. Now before I go on to discuss all those things, let me make it clear to you that you get basically two different type of quadratic equations. Now what are those two different type of equations? The first type of equation is where you will see that the coefficient of the highest power of the variable is 1. You check this equation. Because I do not have the time and the resource to take too many questions, so please concentrate a bit and then try to understand it, whatever I am trying to explain. So there are, as I said, you get basically two different type of equations to factorize. Out of those two different type of equations, one of them will be where the coefficient of x square, because we know this is quadratic equation, so x square has to be the highest power of the variable. Where the coefficient of x square is 1. This is one type. The second type is that the coefficient of x square is not 1. We have only two types, where coefficient of x square is 1. Second, coefficient of x square is not 1. Now you also understand this. I am sure those of you who studied a bit elaborately in class 9 would know that we discussed there also in the chapter of factorization itself, the polynomial, where we will study factor theorem and the method of factorization of polynomials using factor theorem, if you can recall. Those of you, though many of you I am sure will not be able to, but those of you who could recall, you will know that we have two different types of roots of any quadratic equation, or for that matter any equation. If the coefficient of the highest power of the variable is 1, we would always get integral roots. Integral meaning not in fraction, not in p by q form. So you will get integral roots. If the coefficient of x square is not 1, then you may get rational or real roots. So when we say coefficient is 1, always integral roots, positive integers, positive negative integers as your roots. When it is not 1, you get rational roots or real roots. Now let us solve it, simplify it. Let us take up the examples and see. Now the first one is x square minus 14x plus 24 equal to 0. Now by now you know that when coefficient of x square is 1, the last term, the constant term, is split in two factors in such a way that the sum of those two factors must be equal to this. That means, if you remember the method of splitting the middle term, then this should be expressed as a plus b into x, and this is a into b. This is x square. So this is what is splitting the middle term. So then what do we need to do? We have to split the constant term into such factors so that the sum of the two factors is equal to the middle term. Now if you see 24, let me quickly give you the factors of 24. 24, the factors are 12 and 2. 24, the factors are 8 and 3. 24, the factors are 6 into 4. And I don't think so you get any other factor. Now you can quickly check that 12 plus 2, 14. 8 plus 3, 11, not equal to 14. 6 plus 4, 10, not equal to 14. So these, the factors are 24 is 12 into 2, 8 into 3 and 6 into 4. All these 3 equals to 24. But the sum of the two terms has to be equal to the middle term. So if you add 6 and 4, it adds up to 2, which is not equal to 14. 8 into 3 is 8 plus 3 is 11, which is again not 14. And 12 plus 2 is 14. So we have to split 14 as 12 in terms of 12 and 2. Now one more thing, you see that if I take 24, this is a positive term. This is a positive term. AB is 24, which is positive. But if I take this as 12 and 2, then the product of this A plus B should come as minus 14, but the product should come as 24. So see how we split. X square minus 12x minus 2x. These two together is 14. But if you add A into B, minus 12 into minus 2, you get 24, plus 24. So this verifies. Now I don't think I need to go into this much detail because you have already studied it in class 8-9. So now we split it as minus 12x minus 2x plus 24 equal to 0. From the first two term, you can take x common. From the last two term, you can take 2 common. So we get x into x minus 12 minus 2 into x minus 12 equal to 0. And you get x minus 12, x minus 2 as one factor, x minus 12 as second factor. And you know that when you know the factors, you can find this 0. So one of the 0 is x equal to 2. X minus 12 equal to 0 implies x is equal to 12. So now this is how we factorize the first part of it. Now coming to the next part, because I have taken up a root question, because you see that the question with radicals is always very difficult in general for the students, and they always find difficulty in solving these type of questions. So let us not panic, just see that in this case, when it is not equal to 1, then the product of the constant term, which we took this here when this was 1, in this case we take the coefficient of x square and the constant term both, and then we take this two product as AB, and then find those two factors which will give the sum as the middle term. Now for your sake, I have multiplied here 4 root 3 into 2 root 3. So 4 into 2 is 8, root 3 into root 3 is 3, which gives the product 24. So that means the product here also is 24 only. The product of the coefficient of x square and the constant term is 24. Now I have to split the middle term, which is this. I have to split the middle term in such a way so that my product comes as 24 and the sum comes as 5. So then you check, because the product is 4 root 3 and minus 2 root 3. So the product is actually minus 24. AB is equal to minus 24. So now here we do is 4 root 3x square plus we have 5x, we write in terms of 8x minus 3x. This is my 5x. And I have kept minus 2 root 3 same. Now 4 root 3x square plus 8x minus, just for the sake of you to understand that 3 can be written as root 3 into root 3 into x minus 2 root 3 equal to 0. And now I have factorized it. So now again you find the common terms from these two. So here you see that 4 is common for obvious reason, 4x. So 4x we take common. For in the first term we are left with root 3x, in the second term 2. Here both the terms have got root 3, so I take root 3 common. So if I take 1 root 3 common, I am left with root 3x and minus 2 equal to 0. Now I have grouped them, 4x minus 3 being one factor, root 3x plus 2 being the second factor equal to 0. The first factor, 4x minus root 3 equal to 0, would imply x equal to root 3 by 4. And second factor, root 3x plus 2 equal to 0, would imply x equal to minus 2 by root 3. So now in this case, you see that you have got real roots as the value of, as the solutions of the given equation. So I told you, when the coefficient of x square is not 1, you will not get integral roots, you may get the real roots. So here you see this is root 3 by 4, this is minus 2 by root 3. So these are the two values. Now this is the second question. Now the third question. Because the general perception is that if we are asked to factorize using factorization method, we should get the equation in this terms. In this term. But you see here, the equation is not given in that form. It's given in a completely different way. So this is the type of equation which you have solved in linear equation also. So what we need to do now is, we will first simplify it. Then whatever is the simplified result, that result we will factorize to find our zeros. So for simplification of calculation, we are taking, when we have such terms, we take LCM. So I have taken the LCM as x minus 2 into x minus 4, and then because the product of the denominators are the LCM, these will be cross multiplied for simplification. So cross multiply. Then for the sake of simplification of solution, I know you will all have to multiply this to get different terms. Then you simplify the numerator, simplify the denominator. Me, on simplification, I got 2x square minus 10x plus 10. And the denominator is x square minus 6x plus 8. This is equal to 10 by 3. Now from the numerator I have taken 2 common, and then on RHS also I have 2 common. So I can cancel these two common terms now. And then I get x square minus 5x plus 5 as numerator, x square minus 6x plus 8 as denominator is equal to 5 by 3. Again I cross multiply, and once I have cross multiplied, this is the product that I get. I bring everything on LHS and then I simplify. On final simplification, this is the equation I end up with. Now this equation, once I get to this point, then I have to use the method of factorization. So I have got the equation as 2x square minus 15x plus 25 equal to 0. And this now I will solve by the method of factorization. So what is the product? 25 into 2. 50 is my product. So my AB is equal to 50. Now I have to find A plus B, which is equal to minus 15. Remember please. I have to find A plus B equal to minus 15 and A into B is equal to 50. So here we have minus 15x. Now 50, clearly there is a factor 10 into 5 which makes it 50, and 10 plus 5 makes it 15. So we have split minus 15 as minus 10x and minus 5x. Minus 10 into minus 5 will give the product 50. So AB I am getting as 50, but A plus B I am getting as minus 15 if I split it in terms of minus 10x minus 5x plus 25 equal to 0. And then now collect the common terms from first two and the last two. So it comes as x minus 5 into 2x minus 5 equal to 0. Now the general method of factorization. So here also you observe that the coefficient of x square is not 1. Now if the coefficient of x square is not 1, I told you that we may get fraction or the real numbers as the roots. So the factors that I get is x minus 5 and 2x minus 5 equal to 0. So x minus 5 equal to 0 implies x equal to 5, 2x minus 5 equal to 0 implies x equal to 5 by 2. So I have got these two zeros, one is integral but the other one is rational. So you should not be under this belief that when you are asked to factorize, the question will always come in this form. It may not. You can see this form of the question also, and then you will come across many different forms of the question in your NCERT exercise also. So you try doing those questions using factorization method, and then these are the basic things that I needed to explain to you. So once you understand this, you will be able to solve a few questions. All the difficult questions you can collect and then ask as your doubts during the online classes, because it is technically not possible to simplify each and every type of question and solve on the board. So this was the third part of the chapter, where we were required to find the roots of the quadratic equation using method of factorization. So after this, there is the fourth part of it, which is called the derivation of quadratic formula. So that derivation of quadratic formula I will be discussing in video number 3. So this is video number 2. This part you understand this. Again I say, whatever you do not understand, mark it as your doubt. Try solving it. Go through different examples given in your reference books, in any other book which you are referring to, and then come back with your doubts to discuss it during the online classes. Alright? Thank you.